It's just the passion of the craft. But what you are encouraging here is also introducing almost like a backstory, the passion behind the passion of the person and what else they like to do, and having those kind of momentary breaks from the passion to show a little bit of life. And I think also interestingly, you suggested including music in there as well. You think that might be we're taking it away from just the
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The poking could like either someone could love it or it could literally like drive them off a cliff.
Yeah.
Like
I agree. I was going to say it's a deliberate. I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you? So sorry.
Me? No.
Yeah. I got really excited when you said that because I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yes.
It's not for me that particular style of content, but I know a lot of people really enjoy ASMR. It's just that unless I'm misremembering, I don't think that title had ASMR in it, and that really did feel like an ASMR kind of video. And I feel like this is where I would encourage any creator to experiment a little bit, because that's going to be a divisive thing for us to say. Is like, I don't think you should talk. I think you should have music. I think there should be something more going on. Well, it is a deliberate choice in what kind of audience you're going for. Are you going for the more ASMR kind of audience, or are you going for an audience that wants to hear you tell stories and kind of, you're in the background while everyone's getting to see this kind of piece come to life, and you're sitting there expressing yourself in some additional way to add to the video. And maybe you could try both. That'd be kind of interesting, but it would look probably a little weird on the channel to do the same video twice, but one is ASMR and one is commentated or whatever you end up doing. But it does feel like it's open to testing. I'd be considering different styles and choosing, if you haven't settled on your audience yet, choosing, do you want the ASMR crowd or do you want the more, I don't know, a different crowd that's into different aspects of this?
All right, that is Shanty Pike Creations, and I'm already
Wait, hold on, Rob. Hold on, before we move on. I do think that title was bad. What video were you just on?
This one. SpongeBob Invades My Coloring Book.
Okay, if they're I feel like, because that video is just ASMR too, and then they have ASMR in the latest video, and like ASMR channels are like that's a cult following. Like if you're gonna do ASMR, like it should say and be ASMR like everywhere. Like it should be advertised so much. And I feel like this should be like, I don't know, however long they colored this for, like 1 hour marker coloring book, like very to the point ASMR. Like you should know what sound you're gonna hear. You should know what the project is. It should be like simple, but like SpongeBob Invades My Coloring Book sounds like more like a challenge style, like silly video.
I getcha. Yeah. It's almost falling into the title tropes too much. We're trying to go too far down the curiosity intrigue route as opposed to just aligning with the audience that you want to attract and the experience you want to give them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well said, Rob. Well said.
Thank you. And well said you, Jen, for just bringing in like a completely different approach, because Dan and I would usually say, just chuck this on shorts with some music and make them 20 seconds long. It's good
I'm going to subscribe. They have affiliate links. I'm going to start Diamond Art. Like,
that's a good question, actually. Let's just check it business-wise. Do they have affiliate links and stuff? They do not. No business affiliate links there yet. So that's another thing to pay attention to. All right, let's move on to the next channel.
Google it.
Jen, you are more than welcome to just like power down for 5 minutes if you want to, because we always audit a gaming channel as well. In fact, I can power down as well, and we'll just leave this for one for Dan. This is Fanty 13, the first gaming channel that submitted this week. They have 300 subscribers, and from the banner, they are a Risk channel. Hands up anybody who's played the board game Risk and now plays it on games. Oh, Dan.
No, I don't continue to play it.
I don't play it.
I've played it before.
Oh, well, you put your hand up, so you've nominated yourself to give it opening statements.
You already said you're going to power down. I'm still kind of getting first impressions here. But what I'm seeing is indeed Risk. It looks like a more video game version of it, so I'm going to assume that we never get to see like the tabletop board game, which is fine. It's just when I see that logo, I just still feel like in my head I see the tabletop game.
Me too.
So I also Risk Games is kind of an interesting channel banner, because Rob, is that the name of the actual like online version or?
I do not know. Oops, not risk video. Let's try again. Yeah, I think so, Dan.
Okay, risk for top grandmasters. Interesting. Okay, let's look at the video while we're here. Let's look at the views these videos are getting, because that was my next question. Is what's this niche like? You've committed your entire channel to what I would assume is a pretty niche game, and 3 years ago.
No, please, spare me! No.
Quite a novel escape plan. Jumping headfirst into an exploding planet.
You'll kill us both!
Not both!
Why are we doing this? Quill and Groot are inside! We have to get them out!
No, please, spare me! No.
Pretty niche game. And 3 years ago, a channel with 100,000 subscribers, as of today anyway, has over 600,000 views. Okay. After that, there's a channel with 66,000 subscribers from 2 years ago with almost 400,000 views. But that's a risk strategy guide. It looks like that could be the tabletop game, kind of different. And we should sort by what is happening in this space today.
This month?
Yeah.
Okay, so still potentially tens of thousands of views.
Good.
So there's an audience here. It does exist.
So let's look at some of these titles. How can you tell a player is good? I like the Midwest the best. This is double turn one cap smash. And these channels are pretty big. This is like one. Is this all one channel?
I'm just checking. And that is a risk player as well. Live Again Risk. So this is like a channel to aim to in terms of ideas and titling. Having said that, if I go back to our hero channel, I think they're already following the presentation branding wise quite similar to the best channels in the niche.
I would say so. I think the thumbnails are pretty good. Some of them feel a little bit complicated. Like sometimes there's like one too many elements. Like the one I'm looking at that says me in the middle.
Yeah, I was too much going on.
Yeah, you have a map and then a map on top of it. So just little things like that certainly need improvement. Let's real quick. I should have started with this. What did they say on the forum?
Yes, Dan. I was waiting for an opportunity to get there because I forgot to do that. So the goal is to get more people engaged, build community, and expand.
Okay.
Being boring. So there are obstacles. I've never heard this said like this before, but it's interesting. Being boring in my eyes. So better storytelling, more engaging. I'll have to watch one of the videos.
I feel like I relate to this.
Figure out what that means.
I think every creator relates to this. Everybody thinks they're boring.
In my eyes.
Boring in my eyes. What does that mean? Like, should we all try our boring eyes right now?
Resting boring face is something that I feel like I have. Resting chronic boredom face.
And then I want to focus on thumbnails a bit. And then I want to focus on thumbnails a bit, titles. So we've already done the thumbnails, titles, and then perhaps 20 seconds of a video. So as I say, we've done enough on the thumbnails. Let's have a look at titles.
Okay. When nobody teams, it's chaos. Everyone laughed at my cap choice until.
I think that one's funny.
They're funny, but are they too clever? Like,
yeah, Australia, will this ever change? I do feel as if it is maybe a bit too inside risk or inside baseball.
Yeah, they mentioned expanding, right? Like they want more people to watch. They want more people.
Pull up Ben Affleck's clip. Folks, watch this here. So Ben has got a movie coming out with Is it already out, Matt? One of my favorite directors. I think it's coming out this.
What if I told you that the secret to becoming a great content creator wasn't originality, but strategic imitation? Today, I'm sitting down with Cody Sanchez to unpack why most content creators stay stuck and don't grow on YouTube. The reason why is because they do not understand the imitation paradox. Even Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, understood this powerful principle when he quoted Pablo Picasso saying this.
I mean, Picasso had a saying, he said, good artists copy, great artists steal. And we have, always been shameless about stealing great ideas.
Good artists copy, great artists steal. And this isn't just some clever quote. It's the hidden blueprint behind nearly every successful creator's journey. The imitation paradox is the counterintuitive truth that mastery begins with imitating others' work. True originality emerges only after you've mastered the fundamentals through imitation. And I've experienced the power of the imitation paradox myself after getting 3 silver play buttons and a gold YouTube play button for reaching over 1 million subscribers. The turning point was understanding the power of modeling the masters and doing it in a strategic way. But that's not the only topic that we're going to cover in today's episode of the Think Media podcast. What you're about to hear is an exclusive VIP Q&A session that I hosted with Cody Sanchez, which if you never met her before, she's got millions of followers across social media. She's a prolific entrepreneur and business builder, but she also has over 1.7 million subscribers on YouTube. And in our conversation, we cover the powerful 3-step formula that transformed her businesses that we can all apply to our content creation. How to know exactly when to differentiate yourself in a crowded market. 5 game-changing tips for hiring and building a high-performance team. Plus even more insights from the questions that the incredible individuals that attended our event asked. And hey, if you want to get on the waiting list for our next Grow With Video Live event happening in Las Vegas, just go to growwithvideolive.com or click the link in the podcast show notes. Whether you're scaling a business or growing your content platform, Cody's frameworks and the content in this episode are going to provide the blueprint. Let's dive in. And can we just give it up for Cody Sanchez as she comes? All right, go ahead, take it away. What's your name? What do you do? What's your question?
All right, my name is Megan Boson at The Passionate Pro on YouTube. And Cody, so great to hear you. I've been following you for a little bit here. We have similar journeys. So I've been in corporate America for 20 years, became an executive leader 10 years in, and I've been doing that for the past, obviously, 10 years. So I'm a vice president at a Fortune 500. I really love that because it matters, because I'm a Black woman, so that's kind of a big deal. Y'all should clap for that. But in that, there are so many people that hate what they do. And so my channel is dedicated to helping people link their passion to their profession, whatever that means. People come up to me, they're like, oh, I want to be promoted. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't even like living here or working here. Like, let's figure out something else. My challenge is this. When I'm looking at who is already out there, it's these 21-year-old life coaches and career coaches who don't have any idea what they're talking about and have never worked in the environment. How can I think about looking at how I play in the space and how I make sure that I'm setting myself aside and different from those?
Yeah, good question. So I have a framework that I call imitate, iterate, then innovate. And so one thing we can learn from the poor 21-year-old life coaches, which now will hate me, is that they are so much more tech and social media native than we are. They breathe this in the same way that the next generation that understands AI is going to make us look inefficient and about as good as our parents are at handling a new Apple update, right? And so I like to imitate first the things that I see from a format perspective from people who are crushing it, who are younger. And so I think, if you're trying to carve out your unique space, I think you start by saying, whoa, this video is super viral. I need to understand why. Why is this video so viral? Why is this doing so well? Once I understand why it's doing so well, I want to imitate it with grace and appropriateness. You're not trying to steal somebody's content, but if somebody is going super viral talking about chicken coops, right? And you're talking about being a corporate executive, you might take their song, you might take the words that are in the thumbnail or the title, you might take the first 30 or 60 seconds. And when they go, you'll never guess how much money I made with this chicken coop, you might then say, you'll never guess how much money I made from negotiating my salary. And then they might go, here's this tiny little hack on how to build it for $50. And then you might go, here's this tiny little hack that changed everything for me. So you are imitating their frame, but in a way that is totally native to yourself. So I would start with imitation. Then I would go for iteration. So iteration is like, okay, I understand why they went viral. I understand how viral videos could work for me now. Now, how could I iterate on it so it's slightly my own? So instead of them standing in front of the chicken coop and you standing in front of your boss.
What the fuck are you talking about? We had a deal.
我都話佢哋會跣我哋。等陣。
I have your shit, but the cops have been cracking down. They raided 2 shops in the area today already, and I cannot get caught holding.